Good morning. It's Tuesday the 16th of July 2024 and I'm in Shirenewton. This is another place I've known from childhood. Say it's very close to Chepstow, and again I remember going to school with kids at Chepstow School who lived here in Shirenewton. Oh, anyway, it's been a long time since I've been here, so let's have a look round. Shirenewton is a village located 5 miles west of Chepstow by road. The village stands about 500 feet above sea level and has extensive views of the Severn Estuary and Bristol Channel. The population of Shirenewton and its neighbouring village of Monmouthshire was 657 in 2011. Situated in the centre of the village is the church of St Thomas à Becket. It was built at the end of the 13th century by the 5th Humphrey de Bohun and is an excellent example of a Norman fortified tower church. Yay! I've managed to get inside Shirenewton Church, that's good. Oh, lovely. Oop. Bit of a squeeze through there. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Blimey, the sun's out. Wasn't expecting this at all today. Anyway, it was lovely to get inside Shirenewton Church, so I shall crack on with today's walk. From the church, I walked down Redhouse Lane until I reached a footpath on the left. Going through the gate, I walked along the edge of a field to a track. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I've never really walked around here before. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, I spent most of my childhood in Chepstow and I did explore a lot of the footpaths and countryside around there, but not around here. It's funny, isn't it? It takes me like over 40 years since I moved away from the area to come back and do a walk in this part of Monmouthshire. Oh, lovely. This is Golden Valley. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. This is like a little hidden gem, really. Yeah. It's nice that I can imagine that people who live in Shirenewton, this would be a fantastic local walk for them. Of course, I've just found out about Golden Valley by doing a lot of research online, and this seems to be a popular walk in the area. And I can see why. It's absolutely gorgeous. This open pasture down the Golden Valley made up Shirenewton Golf Course for some years, which closed in 2005. So, I think this is the gate I need to go through. Oh, well, doesn't lock anyway. Oh, now you're talking. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. A mini race course. Well, I'm guessing this must be perhaps a training area for horses. Perhaps there's a local riding school nearby or something. Continuing along a track south of the Golden Valley, I entered the mature woodland of the Dinham Valley, where a castle once stood. I'm walking through the Dinham Valley now. Very pleasant. And I think I was right back there about that mini race course. I've seen a couple of people riding horses, so I think there must be some kind of training centre nearby for riders. The track looped right round to meet a junction, where I turned left to follow another track. From here, I had great views towards the Severn Estuary. In about 3/4 of a mile, the track emerged onto a country lane. It's really nice to be walking around this neck of the woods again. I used to go out with my granddad in the car. When I was living with my mum and my grandparents in Chepstow, my granddad used to go all over the place locally, because he knew lots of people all over the place, and I just used to basically go out for a ride with him. So that's how I got to know this area, really, before I started walking at a slightly older age. Yeah, my granddad went everywhere in his car, so he used to go out one afternoon and he'd say, "Right, you want to come with me, see?" So yeah, we came round here. Since I've never really walked around here before. So yeah, most of these places around this part of Monmouthshire I got to know by just simply being a passenger in my granddad's car. Opposite the entrance to Coombe Farm, I turned left off the lane to follow a path signposted to where I was heading next. Well, according to the OS map, the public right-of-way goes diagonally across that barley field, but there is no path that's actually cut through the barley, so I'm not going to try and make my way across there. So I found this path here, which sort of runs on the edge of the wood and between the edge of the wood and the field, so hopefully this will be okay, even though this path isn't actually marked on the map. But I think this will be okay. It seems to be taking me in the right direction, that's the main thing. Yeah, that's fine. I'm on the right route now, so if you come here, don't follow the OS map that tries to take you across the barley field. Just stick to the path that basically skirts around the edge of the wood. So I've arrived where I wanted to arrive now. So this is Llanmelin Wood Hill Fort. Fantastic. I mean, you can't really see much of it now, to be fair, but maybe that's because the grass is long and everything's overgrown, so perhaps when the grass has been cut and in the autumn and winter months you might be able to see more, but you can just make out where the mounds are, sort of make out where the mounds of the fort once were. Yeah, interesting. And it's still nice that places like this are being preserved. Great stuff. Llanmelin is an Iron Age hill fort, but could it also be a burial place, a town, or perhaps a castle of our greatest mythical king? Llanmelin's function is as hidden today as its size from this viewpoint. It covers an area of around 6 football pitches, although the original main camp was only half as big. Begun early in the 3rd century BC, it includes a separate smaller outpost 300 metres away to the northeast. Its odd shape is due to the long annex. By the 1st century AD, the annex became attached to the main camp, as more earthworks were built encircling the entire site. There's no evidence for any activity in the annex though. 2 partial skeletons of a man and a woman were buried there, but that hardly makes it a cemetery. So what was Llanmelin? One survey hints at the existence of roundhouses in the main camp, so perhaps it was a town. There's evidence that metalworking took place here, and the entrance was eventually fortified. So perhaps Llanmelin was a fort after all. The mystery persists, so why not Camelot? Some say it could be a contender for the mythical court of King Arthur. So that's Llanmelin Wood Hill Fort. Fantastic. Yeah, it was nice to just pop up here and have a look. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go back the way I came, because I can see a path going that way. Well, it's a sort of a path, but I don't think it's a proper right of way, and it looks very overgrown. I'm not sure if I can really get through there, so I think the easiest thing to do is to just retrace my steps back to the lane and go from there. Having retraced my steps to the lane, I followed it for another 1/3 of a mile to a junction. This is a lovely little valley. Brings back memories coming through here. Used to ride along here in Grandad's car many years ago. Oh, yeah. Okay. I still got that old signpost. Fantastic. So, the way I've come from goes back to Shirenewton. If I go straight ahead, it goes to Cowent. I'm going along this narrow lane here. I'm going to follow it up through the Cwm. The Cwm. The narrow lane through the Cwm was a wonderful walk. However, after 3/4 of a mile, the road curved to the left, where I turned off to follow a path climbing up steeply along the edge of a field and into woodland. The path was very overgrown in places, and I had to climb over some very old gates as there were few stiles, so it was a fairly hard stretch of the walk. Thankfully, the route became easier as I reached a lane at Lower Argoed, which I followed to the main road. So I've reached the main road, so that'll take me back into Shirenewton. If I was to go that way, I can get to Earlswood that way. So I could follow the road back into Shirenewton, but I don't really want to walk along the road. It's not particularly safe. I think it'd be much more pleasant if I try and follow footpaths that take me away from the road, so I'll try this way. Lovely views looking north. That's looking towards Itton and Itton Common, Chepstow Parkwood. All lovely places I remember from my childhood. Shirenewton's just ahead of me, and just below it, that other village below it, that's Monmouthshire. And when I was at Chepstow School, there were kids in my school that lived in both Shirenewton and Monmouthshire. I can particularly remember a boy called Richard who was in my class at Chepstow School. He lived in Shirenewton, and there was a girl in my class. She lived in Monmouthshire, and her name was Frances. Wonder what happened to her. Anyway, okay, as I say, that's the end of the walk now. That's the end of my 3 days in this area, or 3 nights in Caldicot. Caldicot was a very nice place to stay, but I'm off for the rest of the week still. I'm not going home now. I'm actually going to be driving over the old Severn Bridge, and I'm going to be slowly making my way to Somerset. I'm going to see my mum for a few days, because it's her birthday at the end of this week, so I'm going to spend a few days with her, so that'll be nice. And then I'll go home at the weekend.